everybody. So excited today. I have a beautiful guest. She should be joining shortly. Just give it a little bit of time. Waiting for everybody to start logging on. Like this daily grind. That is definitely how it is every day, the grind for sure. I hope you guys are all doing something you absolutely love, you're passionate about. Before, looks like some people coming on. Before my guest comes on, her name is Inessa Lee. I'm just gonna chat it up with you guys and really just use this opportunity. I know that there's a lot of people either looking into building businesses. Oh, here we go. Inessa's here. Okay, let me go ahead and start. I'll circle back another time about that combo. All right, let's see.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, good, Nathalia. I'm glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm so excited. Let me lift this up just a tad bit. Okay, good.
Sure.
All right, let me go ahead and introduce you to everybody. I know everybody's starting to join on. Super excited. You have such great content like to just give out today. And then two, you have a passion project that I'm really excited to connect with you about as well. But everybody who's joining in, this is Inessa Lee. I'm super excited. You also go by Princess X to your followers and all the people who adore you, love you. You have a career that started with singing and your modeling career starting back in Ukraine and then also bringing it here to Hollywood. So just share. I know I gave a little bit of touch of, who you are, but for anybody who's new, who's never heard of you or just wants to learn more about your background, go ahead and share a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I started as a model when I was a freshman back in Ukraine, and I was making some extra money by doing modeling job. And actually, I got into it accidentally because I was like 5'2", very small height. I didn't expect it to happen. So I can elaborate on that later if you want me to talk about it specifically. But then as I moved to Hollywood, I got onto American Idol. That was like season 10. And that, generated a lot of attention of the press and producers and stuff like that. So then I started recording my first album. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun and it's good. And right now I'm more into modeling and commercial placement of the products on my Instagram page. Although I did a music video a couple months ago, and there's going to be an English version. It's called Love Gun. So it will be out like this August. So I'm kind of excited about that too. That's about it.
So you have so many pieces that just right there in that bio of yourself, but you mentioned right now that you are 5'2", and for the modeling world specifically, that is quite short, right?
Yes.
So how did you, especially, I think it's so important to talk about this because there are so many people right now going through this pandemic that have these big dreams and people cut down by can I really do this? So where do you feel like you got that inspiration of just no, I'm going to go after my goal. This is a vision. I believe in myself and I'm going to push forward with it. Where did that come from?
No, actually, I didn't have any specific ideas of how I'm going to do that or any determination. I had a belief that I'm worth a lot of good things. That's about it. So one day I was going to my school. I was a freshman, and then I was passing by the kiosk with the newspapers and magazines. And then I saw one of the covers actually said, new faces. We're looking for new faces. Submit the pictures now. And then I happened to have a set of professional pictures done by my friend. So I sent it in to the editor, and then I added a brief information about myself and a short note. I clearly remember that sentence. It was like, I'll be on your cover because I'm worth it. So then when the editor called me back, they said, hey, you won the contest. Congratulations. I'm like, really? I had no clue. I didn't believe it's going to happen. I just did it because of fun. Nothing, no goal behind it or anything. And then they're like, you know what? It's not just the look. We like the sentence that you put in there that you're worth it.
That's super confident because it's so crazy how you, when you were saying right now, you were like, I wrote, I'm worth it. That is powerful. That is some confident stuff, right? But then you're like, I didn't believe that would happen. But where did that that passion, that confidence come from when you were writing that? Because those are powerful words.
Well, because I thought if they don't like my face, you know, it's not going to do anything to them. If they like it, it's not going to do anything either, because thousands of girls all around the country will submit to such a fashion magazine. So there's no need to explain why I'm so beautiful, or I'm so worthy, or whatever. It's like, it will work or it will not. So let's just think about the destiny and, you know, whether it works out.
I honestly, I think that's like the coolest thing I've heard, like in such a long time. Like, 'cause straight to the point. There's no, you're right. Like, there's no need to explain. There's 1,000 women that are just as beautiful and doing and have are talented in everything, but
Exactly.
it's so clear and precision. To the point, I love that. I think that I just love confidence. So I'm like,
Actually, tell you the truth, when I was like back then, not only that I was short, but also I had some crooked teeth. I didn't fix my teeth all the way till I got to, like, you know, much further in years. So, and I didn't think I was that pretty. I just did it because my girlfriends told me, hey, it's fun, just send in your pictures. So, you know, it was a big surprise for me, actually.
and you know, it's, you hear these stories too. Like, you know, you hear the things of like Madonna. Madonna had a gap. You know, she has a gap, and you know, she felt intimidated by that. Like so many people entertainers coming up, they talk about that, and yet they have these wildly just incredible personalities. I think that's what it comes down to, like your personality, your confidence.
It's the style. You know what I think? I think every woman can become a model, because you know, it just depends not on the only on the looks, but it primarily depends, um, you know, on how she defines her style. If she has a notion, a clear notion of what she is as a commercial product, as a personality, and she knows what, you know, what kind of pinch of salt she's got in her character, in her looks, and she can outline it fine with the makeup and her wardrobe style, this is all you need to become a success in any industry, not just modeling. So it's really about knowing who you are and who your audience are. That's it.
Now, for you, like, when you started off, was Instagram like a major platform that was being used, or did it develop with time, like as your career has expanded?
Actually, Instagram has developed within the last 3 years. I've invested a lot of time and efforts into promoting my account in various ways. But, you know, the fact that I've been out there in magazines and doing some interviews and stuff, writing up the columns in astrology, it really helps to develop the account.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty glad that I now have more than 2,100 followers. And it's very exciting to share the experience of being beautiful, not just with cosmetics, but with using astrology and some kind of, you know, esoterical things to actually shine from the inside.
So talk about that a little bit more, how you're tying astrology and everything into your work right now.
Okay, I actually started learning astrology about 5 years ago. I didn't expect that the hobby will become so such a passion for me, you know, but yeah, I've learned that astrology has a certain impact on women looks, and it's mostly because we all have Venus and Moon in the horoscope, and depending on how strong your Venus or Moon is, you know, that creates your look and gives you a charm, or it doesn't give you a charm. So you can enforce that happening by taking a certain measures in astrology. Like you need a certain diet to accent your Venus. You need to wear certain type of stones, you know, like jewelries, colors. So I've developed a whole theory around it of how we can strengthen certain planets in our horoscope to build a better career, you know, money situation in your life can improve because of that too, or your looks. Particularly, I'm interested in the looks with the help of astrology. So that's how I help people to do that.
Are you doing any coaching or anything around that? Like, do you have private clients that you help, or how do people learn more about that?
You know, it's funny because it travels by the word of mouth. Frankly, I don't charge people money for helping them just because it's not ethical, in my opinion. This is something mystical. I don't want to get involved with money and mystical things at the same time. So I have a bunch of women who are successful in the industry, and they became my friends. So actually, they're from different industries. They're just successful women, you know, like producers and stuff like that. So, and I help them just because they're my friends. And I very rarely would charge anybody money to help them to develop, you know, astrological things.
Yeah, like if someone's starting their journey, I have a lot of friends are into astrology. Like my friend Nika was just telling me yesterday, she was like, yeah, I think she said Mars, like there's a lot of like people are having issues right now because she knows all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
she would like love this conversation. I'm gonna be like, you need to watch this later because she's at work right now. But somebody who's getting into it, like where would you recommend to start learning and really seeing how like it affects like careers and how we can introduce it into, like you said, mentioned beauty and other industries?
Well, I think it can be taken from any point, like diet, for example, because we are what we eat. So I think if we consume the right food that matches our horoscopes, or at least matches the general perception of astrology as a system of harmony of the body and mind, that's when we start to transform our energies. And then, of course, positive thinking helps, creating a style helps, everything helps, wearing jewelry helps. I keep showing you the bracelet like a shaman or priest
Yeah,
in the temple.
no,
Which is
it's so I'm so into like all of that stuff. So for me, I'm like always excited to learn more. Because I don't have like I would say I don't have a lot of friends that are really into it or open. So it's kind of like me trying to navigate and learn on my own. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. So now talk to us a little bit about, like, I know you mentioned you were on American Idol. How did that come about? Like, I mean, you had some really big things happen in your career and you're so modest about it. Like, I feel like you're just an easy, just like person, like, yeah, I've had these experiences, but I'm a regular like everybody else. So how do you keep that humility too? So first question, how do you get on American Idol? And second question, how do you maintain your humility around it?
Well, getting, as always, it was spontaneous. It wasn't something planned or expected. I went to Disney with my friend Andrea. She actually works at Disney. So we had a fun day, like walking around doing some volunteer work. And then on that day, she said, you know what? Tomorrow is an audition for American Idol in San Francisco. Maybe you should pack your luggage and go. I have no idea why she actually said that. I'm like, why? Why do I even do that? She's like, I think you'd be cool for American Idol. They'll like you. I think I was like making fun of Betty Boop. I was like mimicking her, like boop boop doop. And so she's like, go ahead. Okay, so I packed my luggage. I went there. So 4 o'clock, I end up in the stadium, crowded with people. I'm like, I wear all the pink stuff. I had like a pink costume, and I was like
All the girly,
joking around. I
yeah.
wasn't really doing anything serious. I didn't even learn a song to audition. So when my turn came in, I was singing Betty Boop's song. And, the guy gave me this tag and said, you know what, I really like you, so you're going to go in there further. It was such a surprise. I was yelling.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like millions of people. And did you get it? How did you get it? I don't know. I have no idea. So I guess it's always relying on my inner peace. It's like wherever I go, I think God knows what's better. That's it. Same
That's
thing about humility, it comes from belief in a higher force in your life. Yeah.
Where do you get that from, that groundedness? Because I'm not gonna lie, like just like I feel like a lot of people listening and I struggle with that. I feel like I have moments where I'm super strong, I'm meditating, I'm praying, I'm journaling, all of that. And then there's moments where I'm just like nothing is coming from it. So just speaking on yourself, how are you keeping believe that faith?
You know,
It.
I I totally understand what you're thinking right now, what you're saying. A lot of people think they're the driving force in the world, and I used to think like that too many years ago. And I think that at some point it hurts people because they start overthinking that they're the major force, the driving force, and at some point it starts letting them down. So
Yeah.
I prefer to think that if I pray to God and ask Him for something, He will either grant it to me and I'll be grateful, or He will not, because He knows what is better for me. So I know He has a plan. I don't have a plan. I know He is the driving force. But if I have Him with me in my heart, then everything else comes around, That's it.
I love that. It's really, anybody who follows manifesting, I think, understands like the concepts of like, it really comes down to having the faith and then surrendering, right? But
Yes.
described it right now is just this really gentle, like, piece of knowing, like, God knows what's best. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, God, I know what's best because I'm not here, okay? And this is what I want right now.
You know better, right?
Yeah, I know better. feeling. So, so I'm so glad. It's always so beautiful just to be around other like-minded women who share the same language, who have the same thoughts. And, we're human. How you
Yeah,
feel.
absolutely.
Somebody like I'm talking to you is like, hey, little light bulb, like, reminder. So it's so weird. So I
Yeah,
love
God is the force
it.
anyway.
So you have this modeling career, you have this singing career. How are you sustaining it within just like your Instagram following? Like, how do you keep presenting it to the world, even in a pandemic right now, or just all your passions? How are you keeping up with that?
You know what? I'm actually more preoccupied, not with modeling, but with coming up with a strategy for humans, like my own ideology. It's called equalism, but let's not get into it because it's way too complicated.
Yeah. But
But
if I want you to give us just a general idea, because like I'm very new to the idea too, so I really want you to kind of tap into like what does that mean, just to kind of start piquing people's minds on it.
okay, for a while, women have been struggling for something called equalism, as you know. And it has to do with social justice, justice for all the nations, genders, and stuff like that. But I've taken that concept and developed it into ideology. So I added some economy stuff to it and then put together with technology and faith. And there you go. I got some new theory that I think could help the humanity to overcome the economy crisis as well as crisis, post COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do that jointly with Transhumanist Party. I'm actually part of California Transhumanist Party right now, and we're trying to promote this ideology in many ways, so we can
Why
help people.
why do you feel like it's important, and especially right now, like why is it time to really get that message there?
Well, because the social stratification is so sharp, and there has been so much struggle between the classes. People just need the feeling of togetherness. They need more equality. They need to feel safe and secure about their jobs, about how they're treated to each other within the same group, at the workplace or wherever it is. I just feel like right now we're all, you know, falling apart because of the COVID thing. It was like it's provoking it to happen just because there's a more and more class difference between people.
Mm.
And yeah, so our party is hoping to make a difference, and we open a referendum right now. Like people can go online and vote on the most important issues. And then the artificial intelligence is going to process and get the answers. So it's like we're launching the idea of AI government, if you know what
Oh,
I mean.
wow, 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 wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's it's pretty cool,
So
exciting.
are you active with this daily? Like, are you a part of this community or this group like daily, where you're like on a committee? Like, how does that work for you exactly?
I'm a chief ideologist for the California Transhumanist Party. So I write up the strategies, I wrote the program, I work on articles for different magazines to publicize things that we're doing. And we're preparing for like a TED Talk that is coming this autumn. We're also hoping to make it big so that a lot of people can get, heard on this. So also I'm helping the nonprofit, five, what do you call it? Like 503, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh, Maybe I don't.
Well, it's a nonprofit organization, and
Okay.
they take care of students, providing them with scholarships.
Okay.
And yeah, so this nonprofit is also doing a research on human thymus regeneration. So we collect funds to, rejuvenate human immune system so we can fight COVID without vaccines. You know, if we have a
Mm-hmm.
strong thymus, we don't need vaccines to fight any virus. That's what we're trying to do, like by collecting funds, and we have a team of researchers working on that as well.
So would you say that like coronavirus has really sparked your passion of like this is where I'm headed now? Like this is what my contribution to the world is to really get this in front of more eyes? Or do you
Yes,
feel like there's still a position for you when it comes to, modeling, singing, entertainment? Like, do you see yourself blending the two seamlessly?
I think right now I perfectly blend the two just because I find harmony for my soul in music and creativity. It's like something I will never give up because I feel like it's one of my passions. But then I feel like my role in life, the social role that we all have, is to help people to find this balance as well. So for me, it's all about finding a balance and helping people to find a balance in life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Any motivating words that you could have for anybody who wants to get out there and maybe start something? I think coronavirus has really opened up some eyes of like maybe you can't always depend on a 9 to 5. Like maybe this is a time to pursue your passions and really go after that. Because you don't have like a traditional 9 to 5 corporate job. Like any words that you would give for anybody who would want to start in the industry.
You know what? I think that specifically this time astrologically is transformational.
Yeah.
So it's really not the time to sit down quietly and do nothing and wait till the whole thing clears up. No, on the contrary, I think this is the best time we can start acting to improve our lives. The best time we can start any changes is now, because if you don't do it now, it's not going to happen later. Whoever doesn't jump on the wagon right now is going to be left behind. So, in fact, this is the best time to build a new future for our nation, the best time to create new jobs, to take new opportunities, to transform ourselves and really, try to find a balance in the society and balance within ourselves, no matter what's happening around. Don't let things bother you. Just stay calm and happy.
I would 100% agree with you. I really think this is time for action and really to, maybe have some quiet time just writing out on paper what that looks like for you, but then start putting the wheels in motion because there's going to be a big boom. Like walking out of this, I think we're going to potentially expand by years, light years, compared to in the past because we have social media, because we can connect with so many people. Like we're so intertangled now. So I really agree with you on that one. Also wanted to ask you, like, what are you doing personally just to keep your good vibes and like stay just connected to yourself and the things you're doing? Because I think like a lot of people are. I think you're the first guest I've on that's like yeah, like I'm working on stuff. I'm excited. I think a lot of people have told me they're like, yeah, I'm sad sometimes, And I'm like, so I like to ask guests like, how are you dealing with this personally?
I think the best way to deal with our sadness right now is to help others. Like, if there's anything we could do about helping each other, that would clear the heart and mind. Whenever we start living not just for ourselves and our selfish interest, when we become selfless, that's when the world opens up to us, and that's when our heart is filled with joy. Because that's the only goal and purpose of our living, after all, to help others, you know.
So selfless. Yeah, it's true. Like it's such a good reminder because once again, me, like it's like I'm a giving person, but then there's moments where I'm just like, I need to do this. I'm such a type A, like learning to surrender that. So it's always a good message to remember that like there's a bigger person to help and to give that. Like in the comments, like Princess X is great. Like just the love that the outpouring of great comments being on here. Like you really exude that energy, which is such beauty, right? And not only but internally. So thank you for sharing that. I
Thank you
want
for having me in today.
Absolutely. I want to open up if you have anything that you feel the audience needs to know. You have so many projects you're working on. So give everybody your social, like everywhere they can find you, where they can learn more about what you're working on. Give them the whole 9 yards. From my IG story, we'll have all of your social handles there too.
Okay, guys. So if you want to get active politically or whatever, just go to California Transhumanist Party website. It's californiatranshumanistparty.org, and just click on the link where it says open, referendum open for voting, and just vote on all the economy issues that we have right now. So I guess that's the best thing you can do for me, and I can do for you. That's about
And
it.
give them your, I guess too, give them your Instagram handle as well.
Okay, so to reach me on Instagram, where I put out the music and modeling stuff, that's like princessx.me. Yeah, just go to princessx.me. And I also have another account on Instagram that has to do with purely astrology, where I put out the advices for women. So that one is beauty astrologer. Yeah, that's it, beauty astrologer.
Thank you so much, Inessa. I really just
Thank
love
you.
the conversation. You have such a great vibe. I love your pictures, great content,
Thank
beautiful
you.
stuff. So everybody who's tuning in right now or later on when you catch up, definitely follow her on all of her social platforms. Go ahead, give the webinar more time for to vote and stuff so we can have it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna give people more time. It's gonna
Yeah.
take another month for sure.
Oh, perfect. And I will
Yeah.
have that on handle so you guys will have access to that. So yeah, comment if you have anything. And thank you once again. I'm so excited to have connected with you today.
Thank you. I think that the fact you have this group for women to share their stories is really great. So I think that your club has a very big future and, in many ways, in good ways.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this is passion. I love bringing empowered souls together, women together, and just really being a stand for each other, seeing each other reach our levels of success, whatever that looks like for each woman. So
Yes,
thank
we should. Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Nathalia. It was such a
you.
pleasure to talk to you today.
It was so beautiful connecting. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.